Hey y'all, Zach McDonald with Real Property Associates, and this is offer review number 10. We've now done 10 of these over the last month and a half or so. Wanted to tell you the story of my most recent negotiation and share a little bit of insight that I've gained that applies to buyers and also to sellers. So quick backstory, the buyers here, we made an offer last week on a house in Everett. There were a few offers and we ended up losing out. That was actually my most recent video. It really just wasn't the house for them, honestly. And so in this case, we saw this house. We were actually the first people in. We saw it on a Saturday, right when it came on the market. And right away, they were like, we want to buy this house. I could tell, but they also told me. And on the spot, we came up with at least a draft of a plan for making an offer. And at that point, we didn't know if the seller was taking offers as they come or having an offer review date. There was nothing published, no formal date that the seller had set, but they had indicated they were planning to wait until the end of the weekend. So we did wait on that. Now, for our offer, we ended up, we were a little over 5% over the asking price. We had 3% earnest money. We waived our financing contingency because they'd already gone through the underwriting process. So we waived that contingency. We did keep our appraisal contingency in case for some reason the appraisal came in low. These particular clients weren't super excited to try to make up any kind of appraisal difference if it was to come in low, which most buyers aren't, but specifically first-time home buyers typically aren't carrying a lot of extra cash, so they're not trying to make up those differences. We also were able to include an inspection contingency. It's only a 2-day inspection contingency, so we tightened it up a little bit. That's more appealing to sellers as well. So we're able to go ahead and have, it wasn't an exorbitant amount over the asking price, but we ended up getting the house. I guess that's the moral of the story here. We got the house. And that was a little bit of the backstory in there. We got the house. We were the second highest offer, so not the highest offer. There was another party willing to pay $25,000 more than we were, but the other terms in our offer were better. So the whole package for the seller was better. And so my lesson to a buyer here, the lesson for a buyer is the highest offer doesn't always win. I think that's a misconception that a lot of buyers have, specifically in the Seattle area. They think, well, it's a silent auction. I don't want to be in a bidding war. I don't want to pay the highest price. You don't always have to. And there's multiple things that are appealing to a seller. And so it really is the price plus the terms in the contract plus contingencies in the contract. So those three together equals the winning offer. And in the case of the competing offer we were up against, they had offered to go up significantly more on the asking price, but their amount that they were willing to pay wasn't that much more than ours. So its net effect wasn't that much higher than ours. And all the other things that we brought to the table, no financing contingency, that's huge. A shorter inspection period, again, that's huge. And we waived all the other contingencies we could. So having a really tight contract and still paying more than a few of the other offers, but having a just good total package was what ended up getting us the house. So be encouraged. You don't have to pay the highest price. Now, for sellers, the message is similar. The message is the highest price isn't always the best offer. And I've seen this from my own clients, and I've seen this at working with buyers as well, that sometimes the highest offer is not the best. Sometimes sellers take an offer that isn't the highest offer because there's other things that are important to them, which could be how much earnest money is the buyer offering? Are they offering $500? Because they might not perform on that contract. Are they paying over the asking price? Are they competitive on the price? That's usually a big thing. Do they have a financing contingency? Do they have an inspection contingency? With a seller, you want to get the most money. Most people want to get the most money, but they also want to have assurance that the sale is going to close. So you kind of want to have both of those put together. So if you have a contract where, they're offering to pay you a lot of money, but there's a lot of doubt as to whether that's actually going to close. And that could happen if somebody's offering a ton more than the asking price, but they have a financing contingency. If the appraisal doesn't come in at value, if it comes in a little low, then they can just walk away. So there's lots of things to consider. So as a seller, those are things we can talk about during a negotiation and in the heat of things. But something to consider, it's not always the highest offer that's the best. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate your attention. I really value it highly. I'd love for you to say hi in the comments. It's always fun to interact with all of you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.